Donald.
Thank you. My name is Donald, originally from Zimbabwe. I've actually lived here since 2007, so it's been a while. I actually studied here first, and then I ended up falling in love with the country. And after college, my cousin and I actually co-founded a company called Divs Parking. So we help people search and reserve for parking spaces. And then after that, we got acquired by the Metro Pacific group of companies, and that's how I ended up in MPG Mobility. So now I'm handling the app called MPG Driver. Thank you.
So the only person whom I can discuss with cricket is Donald and this family, right? Yeah. So yes, Natalie.
Okay, hi, hello, good afternoon. I'm Natalie Salcedo. So I'm the growth lead. Technically, I just onboarded with Metro Mart here, and it's been a roller coaster ride from a corporate industry. I came from SM, super malls, and then transferred here in Metro Mart. So basically, if you're looking for online grocery delivery, even a marketplace and specialty stores, we have it now.
That's great. So if my panelists allow and all of you allow, I would like to name this panel. What do you think will be the right name? Anyone? Any guesses? Oh, come on, at least one guess, please. Okay, I will take the honors. Let us call a mini UN panel, United Nations panel. They're all from 4 different countries, you know. And okay, I thought I'll at least be from Australia so that it would have been 4 different continents. But me and Natalie stay in Asia, so it's, yeah. Yeah. Right. So with this, I would like to have my first question to Julian, because they are like Dart. They give quick responses. So with quick commerce industry, there is a lot at stake. You have to deliver in 29 minutes. You said 11 minutes. How important it is to understand user behavior and predict what has happened.
Yeah, I mean, understanding the user is obviously at the core of our business, and I mean, we are at a quite interesting stage at the moment. So we were founded 3 months ago. We are basically growing at the moment with like, I think last month was 150%. So we are at the moment we're going with like 200 kilometers on the Autobahn, right? And at the same time we want to go faster, and we want to make the car look nice and shiny. And so really understanding what are the right decisions, because if we take wrong ones, or this could end up in a disaster. Like really understanding customer insights is like super key for us. And that starts at like understanding like the different customers, what are they doing in the app? How are they working from like new customers, going through a registration process, existing customers, ordering, like putting stuff into the basket, checkouts. And that's something where like MoEngage, I spend every week basically looking at customer flows and how they're behaving in the app, and like really understanding like what is going on. And if we understand that, then we can act upon it. And one thing is like, okay, working with our products and sending notifications, they're easy ones, like abandoned cart, right? Push notifications to just remind customers out of stock, something is out of stock. But then you can also really leverage the data and act upon like how customers are behaving. So someone really likes snacks and is always looking at that, well, maybe in the afternoon, like send them a specific push and let them know like, hey, you want some chocolate, you crave something, just order it, you have it in a few minutes. And then like linking to some of the others, tell them one for instance, and then this specific customer can actually give a chocolate for free. Well, that's basically how we look at this, really understanding the customer data on an individual level, also aggregated, and then based on that one, taking decisions how we want to build this car, how we want to build our app, or we want to build our product.
Oh, very interesting. So again, Natalie, for you, the question is, oh, by the way, when will the Christmas season start in Philippines? It already started, right? The longest celebration that we have in the Philippines from September. So our marketing doesn't know this. They framed the question saying that Christmas season is coming, New Year season is coming. Yeah, but my question to you is, yes, holiday season is coming. So what do you anticipate as a quick commerce or an on-demand delivery service? What do you anticipate, what to predict during the shopping season?
I think Teresa's mentioned that Christmas is the biggest holiday in the country for Filipinos, that our Christmas actually started last September. So in terms of planning and Christmas campaigns, it's actually done, basically. So I think in terms of e-commerce and grocery delivery platform, last year was kind of different, and we're anticipating the different behavior of the consumers currently as it stands, because it's the new normal. We don't know what will be the trend that's going to happen by this year. It's super different from last year, the last 2 years. So basically, if the Christmas season is coming, there's a lot of demand, there's a lot of bulk orders, there's a lot of people coming out, there's a lot of traffic as well. So we also have to consider our logistics partners, our supermarkets, there's a lot of people going out and all that. But how do you really make sure that we provide the best service to our consumers at the same time? So it's really more on the planning really has to happen holistically, not just on the marketing side, but really on the operation side at the same time. And then with our marketplaces, with all the partners that we have currently for our the app itself, with the supermarkets and specialty stores, everything should be holistically be all together.
So one question to both of you again. I have heard many people saying there will be revenge shopping. Revenge. Because not many people went out, shopped for the last 2 years. Do you think, will they sit and order from you, or will many people be moving to supermarkets to shop?
Well, as I mentioned, I think in terms of the customer behavior, we really don't know currently as it stands. It's just the first year that we're experiencing the new normal coming from the high demand of the last 2 years. Since basically that is where all the e-commerce is really emerging during that time. So currently, it's really more on the question is how do we make sure that the customers is satisfied with the service that we are providing. So basically we have our loyal customers, those customers who still prefer shopping online even though it's the new normal. And those are the type of customers that maybe we really have to hold on to it and really provide the best service as well. So it's how do we keep them interested within the app? We provide different promos, we provide different supermarkets that will make them interested. So it's really more on innovating based on that.
I think for us, it's not really a problem. I've seen that in Germany. Gorillas, when I was doing that, the quick commerce, obviously people were always allowed to go out, were ordering. And even when lockdowns actually ended, people were still ordering, were still skyrocketing. And that's because our model is not about hey, you have to plan, you have to go get your groceries, and you don't have any other way. It's just making it easier for you, right? So you, instead of getting into a car, going somewhere, being there for an hour, going back, takes you 2 hours, you spend a lot on gas, right? Just whatever you want, you order it, you get it. Super predictable, super easy. Yes, things are changing, but not really for us.
All right, that sounds great. Yes, please.
Yeah, I think even coming from the pandemic, their messaging has always been stay safe, stay at home, right? But then currently, since everyone's going out, it's more of online shopping and we're providing convenience too. It's really more of that.
Right. Now, question is to Donald. I found that they don't have any competition, right? If you have to travel to NLX, you have to. There is no other way. Otherwise, you have to take the service road, which is anyways going to take 3-4 days to go from Makati to Alabama. So, in this view, from this point of view, why do you think customer engagement, customer experience is so important for MPT Drive Hub or MPT Mobility?
Well, actually, I think that's a common view that people would say we don't have any competition. But when it comes to winning the hearts of our customers, we still have to take that very seriously. So sometimes it's even harder when you don't have competition because there's nobody for them to compare you against. So they really hold you up to very high standards. And because of that, we actually take a lot of time and effort in making sure that we gather customer data insights and that we act on them and that our customers are always happy. So from Drive Hub, we created the digital platform in order to connect what is usually considered a very transactional kind of business. You just get on the toll road, pass through the toll gate, and that's it, you're done. But still, if we don't deliver the service in a way that pleases our customers, they get angry. And nowadays with social media, they do go out there and rant, and that tarnishes the brand's image, and it then spills over to other brands within the group. So that's why we are very concerned about customer engagement.
Yeah, you talked about this initiative, MPT Drive Hub. It allows users to plan the journey and ahead. So how do you think the real-time insights on traffic also helps the customers? Apart from while you can analyze customer behavior, there are externalities also in play. So how do you use these real-time insights?
Okay, so real-time insights. Let's talk about traffic for one. I was coming from the office to come for the event here today. I know how to get here, but halfway through I opened Google Maps. And that's because I was stuck in a very long traffic jam. And it's at that moment when I needed that real-time data just on the traffic conditions to try and figure out what's the best routes. Although I knew 2 routes off the top of my head, but I had to figure out that is it worth it for me to try the other route. So that was an example of how real-time data is important for our customers, which are predominantly motorists. When it comes to customer behavior, one scenario could be our rest stops along the expressways. So these rest stops have very different establishments, ranging from coffee shops to gasoline stations and fast food chain restaurants. We don't want to be sending push notifications or promotions to people about a McDonald's or a Starbucks along NLEX when they're somewhere in Makati. It doesn't make much sense. That's something that annoys our customers. So getting a platform like MoEngage is something that we're looking forward to helping us out in delivering relevant and timely messaging. And not only that, but also through the right channels.
Thanks for that. So even people from MPT Mobility get stuck in traffic. So this is the first time I'm hearing it, but yeah. So I have a question for Julian and Natalie again. So similarly, the externalities that traffic can have, even you might face externalities apart from customer behavior, right? So how do you manage, how do you leverage these externalities into your advantage? So whether it in terms of communication, example today it rained, right? So how do you leverage that?
Yeah, I mean, for us, that's actually something which we can really use to our advantage, right? Because we are so instant. So just today, I think all of you've been out there, it started raining, and that's for us something where we try to step in on that and say hey, don't want to leave your house. Well, just started, right? And that's something where we can really go in on that one. The other thing is also, as you said, negative externalities. We talked about traffic. Right? I think there's a reason why the Philippines is the only country where traffic is an adjective. I learned that, and so normally during rush hours also we inform our customers that could be a bit longer, but at the same time we also use it to our advantage because customers are actually super surprised about how fast we are. They don't see that coming. So now we're going in the way that we tell them, look, your ride is already on the way, your ride is arriving, and now your ride is there. And that helps us to actually make them sort of ready that they can get that, because otherwise we have the cases that our riders is calling them and telling customers, and they're like, what, you're already here? How is that happening? And that's obviously something we want to avoid. We want to be fast and then also do the next customer very fast.
Right. And Natalie, you want to just mention how you leverage or you predict these externalities
Yeah, I think pretty much the same because we somehow with Dart, right? It's really looking forward, let's say, rainy season, there's storms coming in. It's how we inform our customers as well, but also would serve as an advantage in terms of how do we create a campaign out of it. It's like leveraging on what's the current state and then provide promo codes there and that, and then you provide discounts and all that. I think pretty much.
All right. So when we talk about this, right, in Philippines, storms, traffic, it's very nice. I have an interesting idea for Donald, actually. Instead of, definitely you can have the toll fee calculator. We should also have a time calculator from traveling from point A to point B. So predicting the traffic. So that will be interesting to know.
Yeah, that's actually coming up with some additions to that to make it better than what, just to show you the traffic. So we're actually adding more experiences to it, tailoring better experiences. So that's something that you can expect to see in the next few months.
Oh, very interesting. And this question is relevant to all three panelists. So with quick commerce and transportation industry, so all these industries are, again, based on location, right? So if you want groceries, you want it to be delivered at your doorstep. And if you want to go to office, you have to use any of the toll roads. So how do you think we can leverage geofence or the location-based notifications? Or how do you think it will help?
Well, I'll go first. For transportation, so example, on the toll roads, we actually, one of the businesses that MPT Mobility is now into also real estate. So the service facilities that you find along the toll roads are usually the kinds where you just find a gas station and a few fast food restaurants. But they started up this concept. If you've ever gone to the Balintawak area, just before the Balintawak toll gate, there's this establishment called NLEX Drive and Dine. Now, NLEX Drive and Dine is a concept where they've basically beefed up what is the usual toll rest area into something more of a destination place. So people actually spend more time there, not just, stop, fill up some gas, drive through, and they're off. They spend hours there. And they've actually added, restaurants that provide fine dining, and even the biggest Nike factory store is located there. So people actually go there to buy sneakers. Now, because of that, geolocation allows us to basically send relevant messages. Like if somebody is passing by Balintawak, we can actually direct them to NLEX Drive and Dine, and that's something that we can use geofencing for. We can do the same for any of the toll gates, knowing that a person has passed Pampanga Toll Plaza, and we are delivering messages about things relevant to Pampanga, not things that are happening in Makati. Oh. So those are some of the use cases for us for geofencing.
Well, next time I buy sneakers from Nike, I will blame Donald for that. Right. Julian, you want to take this?
Yeah, for us, we follow a hyper-local approach, right? So we are not active everywhere. We're in Makati, Mandaluyong, BGC, now adding Pasay, a few more cities. So for us, it's like being able to target users locally is king. Because we, on the one hand, need it. So let's say we open up a new area. We already know users who downloaded the app but weren't able to order now. So now we can directly engage with them and tell them, hey, look, we're here, we're live now, order from us. But at the same time, what we're also seeing is we have very different user behaviors depending on the city. Like, very easy example, Makati is more in the morning, and Mandaluyong, they're the night owls. So we really want to, based on that one, communicate with the users at the most relevant times. Right? We are not planned, we are instant. So if people in Mandaluyong, they are normally ordering 8, 9 p.m., well, then we will communicate with them at that time. And Makati, well, they go earlier. So, and based on this one, on different user behaviors, and then being able to segment them, we can really put this full potential of our model to use.
So you are selling groceries in Makati and selling beers in Mandaluyong. Is that right?
The share for sure, yes.
Sure. Natalie, how are you using? Yeah.
I think for us, since Dart is also focused within the local Makati area also, and then with Metromart, we're starting to really expand also to different provinces currently. So we've been present in Cebu, Davao, Bicol, and I think in terms of geofencing, how it contributes to us is more on how do we personalize those messaging based on those provinces. So as mentioned by, each customers based on location differs. So they also have different purchasing capabilities. They have different intent in terms of the supermarkets that they wanted to purchase on. So it's really how do we personalize each messaging through emails and push notices as well. And that is how it's important for us that we get to geo-target them based on locations.
Yeah, this will be my last question. So how can the feedback be collected from the customers, right? So you are into quick commerce. So how important it is to collect, and how do you manage? How are you managing to collect the feedback?
Yeah, I mean, for us, everything is data-driven, right? I have an opinion about what customers like you. My marketing team has it. They probably have a better one because I really like the local cultural knowledge. But ultimately, everything I say, like, let's look at the data. And there are 3 different layers you can be looking at. Like, one is aggregated data, like which products sell the most, which categories will get clicked more, what are customers really looking at. The other one is then getting on the individual level, so to really understand how individual customers are behaving, and that you can also do with data. And then the third one is like, well, why do customers do that? And for that, you really have to go into like customer interviews, rationalizing what they're doing, talking with them. And I mean, like, really finding also the right customers. For that, you have to firstly identify them, and that's where data is key. Like, so what are your biggest problems? Why are they there? And like, how can you solve them?
Then how are you collecting feedback from your customers? Is it through app or a different platform, or through offline?
Well, currently we utilize both the app and also offline. So we track certain events on the app. So by that, we are already getting some feedback, although it's more passive. But then also we do it offline. We've utilized things like FGDs and surveys, and that's how we do it for now.
All right. Natalie, for you?
Yeah, I think pretty much the same for both. We utilize it via the app. We integrated this. Every time you shop, you get our ratings as well, just so we evaluate our shoppers and riders. And then we also have like the tipping system. So we get to like acknowledge also our shoppers and riders because we don't get to see them when they really provide services. And then apart from that, we really utilize the offline as well. As techy as it sounds, we still call the customers directly. So we cohort them based on strategy. And then we call each of those customers through different questionnaires, survey forms. And then through it, we get to evaluate what could be their pain points from these locations and how can we possibly solve these problems as well. And then at the same time, I think everyone's really social. There's a lot of comments and feedbacks via social media. So we're trying to maximize all of those feedbacks as well because we really believe that the customers are key essentials here in how we really retain the business.
All right, that's great. So one point I would like to highlight, do you have any final comments or anything for our audience?
I have something. I mean, we're still pretty new and we're looking obviously for customer feedback. So anytime I can maybe share my email address later, julian@dart-app.com. Feel free to use our app. Let me know what you like and especially let me know what you don't like. And to make that a bit more appealing to you, we have a specific voucher. So just use my name, Julian 400, gives you 400 off on the first order. Basically scaling, no minimum spend. And if you go above 1,000, that's basically where you hit the full 400.
Wow. I thought I'll also do this for my earlier panel. They are bankers and lenders. We would have got good money out of them, right? I'll tell Arijit to do that, right? So any other final comments?
Well, as we mentioned at the beginning of this, it's Christmas season. A lot of people are going to be traveling. So if you're going to be using any of the MPTC expressways, be sure to download MPT DriveHub, load up your RFID so that you get easy passage through. And for anybody who's working on mobility-related services, feel free to reach out. We're looking to work with any companies and startups that are doing that. Thank you.
Natalie, please.
Hello. Okay. I think, yeah, pretty much the same. So if you're looking for an online grocery delivery platform, we're present. We're like a marketplace. If you want to shop for your groceries via SNR, you don't need a membership card. Okay, and then we also have specialty stores as part of it. And then, yeah, pretty much the same. We're looking for partners as we innovate. So we're really looking forward to integrate a lot of partners at the same time to help our customers really grow.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. So after that Julian 400, I don't think anybody should have any questions. Right, all right, okay. So let's have a mini UN photograph. Right, we'll capture the photo. And thank you so much for being here for the panel. Right.